Nice weather for the ducks. Oh.
It's easy to see where Fiona gets her good looks from.
We all know the rule. Sequels are never as good as the original, right? They're rushed, louder, and usually just trying to cash in more money. But every now and then, something unexpected happens. The story gets deeper, the characters evolve, the stakes explode, and somehow, some way, the sequel ends up being better. Let's face it, sequels usually have a bad reputation. They're often seen as lazy cash grabs that ride on the success of the original, offering more explosions, more fan service, but less soul. And honestly, that reputation is well earned. For every Empire Strikes Back, we get a Speed 2 Cruise Control. For every Toy Story 3, there's a Transformers 8 that nobody even asked for. So when a sequel actually works, when it builds on the original instead of just copying it, it feels rare, almost like it wasn't supposed to happen. But that's what makes them special. These films break the mold. They prove that stories can grow, characters can deepen, and yes, sometimes lightning does strike twice. So, what separates a forgettable sequel from a legendary one? Let's break down the films that didn't just follow up, they leveled up.
See if I can get this straight. You're mortal there, but you're immortal here until you kill all the guys from there who have come here, and then you're mortal here. Unless you go back there, or some more guys from there come here, in which case you become immortal here again.
Something like that.
Movie sequels, more often than not, aren't even written by the original creator. Instead, the studio that owns the rights brings in a new team of writers who only have the formula and characters to work with. The result is usually a louder, flashier version of the same story. More spectacle, more explosions, more glitter, but none of the heart. The studios will hire a big, well-known director, but then for the sequel, they move on to other things, so they bring in a new director. This can be seen in the Jaws franchise. Janos Shawark, director of Jaws 2, had none of Steven Spielberg's manipulative cleverness. The film quickly became a classic and was met with global praise. Universal Pictures aimed to commercialize the plot, producing sequels. However, Spielberg, believing he had already made the definitive shark movie, refused to direct the sequels. With a new director, the movie saw a noticeable drop in overall performance. Another common reason sequels fall short is a noticeable decline in creativity. This first movie had this great, amazing new idea, but once that idea is out of the world, parts 2 and 3 can't measure up because the novelty is already gone. Filmmakers are often challenged to come up with something fresh and original while still staying true to the plot and tone of the original film. This balancing act can limit their creative freedom. So, if most sequels fail, what separates the great ones from the forgettable? Sequels only get made if the first movie is a huge success. Screencraft writes about the 10 commandments of sequels. Number 1 is to ensure that the original warrants a sequel. Highlander was a standout genre film. Following its success, the studio sought to cash in by greenlighting Highlander 2, The Quickening, a sequel that turned out to be nearly incomprehensible and disconnected from the spirit of the original. Number 2 is not to simply remake the original. We see so many movies suffer from this simple mistake, and The Karate Kid quickly became a victim of this. Number 3 is to not dismiss what the characters accomplished. Dismissing everything that had happened in the original is the worst thing a sequel could do, and Ghostbusters is the perfect example for this. At the end of the original Ghostbusters, they were known as heroes, saving New York City, and in the sequel, they're right back, the same and worse. Like nothing had even happened. They are left shamed because of some of the negative fallouts from their heroic efforts in the original. And this is what disengages an audience. The other rules a sequel should have is to take the original character forward. Remember that the original characters are the franchise, not to reinvent the wheel. Know that a sequel is only as good as its villain, and to ask key questions on what makes the sequel stand out.
Look at you. What do you believe in, huh? What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Some standard sequels are often considered superior to the original films and just did it right. Batman Begins laid the groundwork, gritty, grounded, and full of potential. But The Dark Knight, that's where it became iconic. The sequel didn't just improve on the original, it redefined what a superhero film could be. Christopher Nolan took everything to the next level. The moral complexity, the realism, the psychological tension, and at the center of it all, Heath Ledger's Joker. His performance wasn't just memorable, it became legendary. A chaotic force of nature that challenged Batman on every level, mentally, morally, and emotionally. The Dark Knight felt less like a comic book movie and more like a crime thriller with capes. It didn't just try to be bigger, it tried to be smarter, and that's what made it unforgettable.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
John Wick Chapter 4 took everything fans loved, the hyper-stylized action, the world building, the emotional weight, and dialed it up to 11. This was action filmmaking at its most inventive. But it wasn't just the spectacle, it was the mythology. Wick's world of honor codes, continental hotels, and high table politics became deeper and more operatic than ever. It might sound strange, but Paddington 2 isn't just a good sequel. It's one of the most critically acclaimed movies ever made. No, seriously. For a time, it even had a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. So how did a movie about a talking bear become a modern classic? Simple. Paddington 2 takes everything that worked in the first film, its warmth, humor, and gentle optimism, and refines it to perfection. The story is bigger, but still deeply personal. The stakes are higher, but never lose their heart. And Hugh Grant, as a washed-up actor turned cartoonish villain, a masterstroke. The film isn't just funny or sweet, it's earnest. And in an era of doubt, that sincerity hit like a hug from an old friend. Paddington 2 didn't just live up to the original, it surpassed with kindness.
Well, I think you're in great shape for a man your age, Mr. Brown.
Ah, thank you, Paddington. Hang on, how old do you think I am?
Oh, about 80?
So, are sequels doomed to fail? Not necessarily, but making a great one takes more than just a bigger budget or a familiar cast. It takes intention. It takes respect for the story that came before and the courage to take it somewhere new. The best sequels don't just repeat the formula, they evolve it. They deepen the characters, expand the world, and give us a reason to care again. Whether it's a caped crusader facing moral collapse, a stoic hitman searching for peace, or a loving bear saving the day with kindness, the best sequels remind us that second chapters can still hold magic. Because when done right, a sequel isn't just part 2. It's the next step in a story worth telling. That wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for sticking with us to the end. As always, remember to give this video a thumbs up, comment your thoughts, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all our latest content. Until next time.